Good evening and welcome to tonight's Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for June 11th, 2025. We call the roll, please.
Jeff Cook.
Here.
Nathan Sheets.
Here.
Rob Tidrow.
Here.
In our packet, we have the minutes from the 5/14/25 meeting. If there's no additions or corrections, can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
A second?
A motion and a second to approve the minutes from the 5/14/25 meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Do you have proof of publication tonight?
Yes, thank you. This notice was published in advance. It states the time, date, place, and the items on the agenda for tonight's meeting. I would ask the BZA to make a motion to accept the proof of publication.
You have a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve the proof of publication.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve proof of publication. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. BZA 9-2025 is a petition of Tarmino Properties. I'm sorry if I messed that up. Is the agent here?
We haven't heard from him, so.
So let's move on to BZA 11, new business.
Mr. President, can I ask a question? We
absolutely.
skipped one of the items in the agenda. I didn't know if you.
Oh, I did. You're right.
I didn't
We'll all
know.
stand and do the pledge.
Sorry, I never.
Thank you, Rob. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kelly wasn't here to kick me. Now let's move on to BZA 11-2025. Please, if you would, state your name and address for the record.
My name's Eric Carter with Y Engineers, 10505 North College Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Tell us about your project.
Yeah, so I'm here representing GBT, the developer of the site, for a proposed 7-Eleven convenience store located on the north side of US 35, just north of the existing Love's truck stop off of I-70. We recently got the project rezoned to HC Highway Commercial District a month or so ago. So the next step is to seek some variances and hopefully move on to development plan submittals. Go to the next. The 7-Eleven, it's going to be a branded Speedway. It's not the typical Speedway convenience store you see around here. It's the new Gen 2 7-Eleven prototype. A lot of the states in the South, they have a branded 7-Eleven, but Speedway is kind of a known vendor around here. It's a convenience store. You got your grab-and-go items. There's no showers like a truck stop. They operate more on a fueling and going instead of having people stay over in the showers and restaurant. So we got the auto fueling in front. We got 6 dispensers, which is 12 fueling positions, and we got 4 lane commercial in the back. And then this site has some constraints. There's an existing high-pressure gas main that goes across kind of in a diagonal there. Yeah. So typically, you would see the commercial fueling lane right behind the building, but we had to shift those apart and kind of separate try to keep the crossings as minimal as possible over that gas main. And we're still working with CenterPoint on approvals of that. We're proposing a full access onto US 35 there. City and NDOT has required a traffic signal, which we're working on that. We need some easements from Love, so that's work in progress. And then there's some right turn movement improvements along US 35, and then the right in, right out there further to the west. So, and also we have some water and sewer extensions. So that's why there's quite a bit of a grass area in front there. We're going to be granting some additional right-of-way and easements for those extensions and the roadway improvements. The next slide. So this is a elevation proposed. Give you an idea what it's going to look like, front and the rear. The next one. And the side. So, not your typical speedway. So, go ahead, next one. So we got 5 variances we're requesting. Guess you can go ahead, next one here. The first one is the requirement to have foundation plantings. Typically, a gas station, and I know 7-Eleven, they have an 8-foot sidewalk, and it's so they have accessibility and pedestrian-friendly access around the store, because you still got your or the propane tanks and ice merchandiser. And a lot of having landscape right around the foundation collects a lot of trash and potential issues with cigarettes and what you see at a gas station. So we're requesting, in lieu of that, is to move those required shrubs, work with staff on an alternate placement. We feel it doesn't, affect the public safety welfare for that request. So you go ahead and number 2. The next one is only having 1 pole sign. We're requesting 2. Typically gas stations, they have goalpost signs. It's got the pricer on it, the name of the company, and it's out on the frontage of, in this case, US 35. And we're pretty compatible with the one across the street at Love's. It's to draw in the traffic off of 35, have an informed decision on where to go. You're driving down the street and you're looking at the gas price, and so this is easily visible. And then the pole sign, which is next, is to draw in traffic from I-70. Again, giving people informed decision, enough time to see. And also with this site so far off of I-70, you can't really see it, so it'll give visibility to I-70. We're meeting setbacks. It's on the property. It's outside the right-of-way, so it doesn't affect the public safety welfare. And also it's compatible. And actually, the high-rise is less in square footage than the Love's. I believe theirs is 600 square feet. We're asking for 375. And the height, I believe, is a little smaller, too. And that's with the third variance is the square footage of the high-rise. So we're asking for, again, 375 versus the 225 max that's required. Next one. And with this, there is some directional signage to make sure the trucks go into the truck access and not the auto. So we're asking, the requirement is 36-inch height and 3 square foot and a maximum of 4. We're asking for 5 feet high, 6 square foot, and 6 signs. I don't know if you want to go back to the site plan. So there will be 2 at the auto, 2 at the main entrance, directing trucks to that entrance. And then as you go into the site, there will be an auto only going into the auto fueling, and then trucks, directing them further back there. And then once you get to the site, there's an auto exit, or truck exit and truck entrance. So there should be 6 of them. The square footage is set up so that they can be easily visible to trucks, and the height. So again, it's focused on safety, ingress, egress of vehicles throughout the site. So it's kind of an example of what you'd see. And so that's the 4th one. 5th one is the entrance, maximum 45 overall width at the right-of-way. We're asking for 60 foot. This is compatible with the Love's across the street, and it's based on the turning movements into the site and out of the site for trucks. We want to make sure they're not hitting each other. I will note this is still under development, so this may be a little bit less when it actually gets the engineered plans. But we talked to staff, and they advised that we ask what we think may be, but it may be smaller as we're engineering it. So I think this is showing about 56 feet, but so give a little bit of wiggle room for the traffic engineers to make sure everything fits correctly. Again, it's for safe ingress, egress, for the safety and welfare of the public. So that's the 5 that we're asking for, and I'm here. Any questions?
You have questions, the petitioner?
I have a few questions, Mr. President.
Oh, I do too, so, but please.
Thank you for organizing this. It's nice. For the 3 shrubs, you mentioned putting them elsewhere. Do you have an idea?
I mean, we can put them up front there, to the left or right of that gray area there, that's the tank farm. We don't want them right next to it, but it can potentially be to the right or left of that. Or there's an island there to the right. We just got to make sure, they're smaller shrubs that don't affect visibility.
Right, okay. Then on the, going to the 36-inch to the 5-foot height, is that going to impede any kind of visual eye line, sight line as I'm pulling in and out of the area since they're a little taller, or
Sorry, say that again?
is that going to impede any kind of visual, sight line for traffic or other cars? I know your trucks sit higher, but your cars are still going to be,
They'll be set back, so they're
So-
meeting the site triangle
Okay.
requirements
Okay,
in the
great.
ordinance.
okay, that's all I have right now, thank you.
So let's go to the goalpost sign. So, excuse me, the variance you're requesting is for size and height, is that correct?
The goalpost meets the ordinance requirement for pole signs. It's the number of signs. So we have the goalpost and the high-rise, 2 pole signs on the site.
So the high-rise, you're at 375 and the ordinance is 225?
25,
What's the height?
75 feet,
You're just gonna pick up westbound? The way that
I-70, yeah.
I-70, what, you're not gonna see it eastbound? Very well. I live there, so I'm right down the road, so which is fine, I'm just asking questions. And I pray and hope you get a stoplight.
This project won't move forward without stoplights, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the next variance that we're looking at? The width.
Yeah, the width of the drive.
I have no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Open the floor for public hearing. Yes, please. If you would state your name and address for the record.
Paul, 2147 US 35 North. Own Pardos Towing. I'm all for it and everything, but the one big thing, for 30-plus years, we get flooded. So that's one thing I'm kind of concerned about, the button up to my, property. That's about it. Just the concern of flooding.
Sure. And can you address any of that? I mean, I see a detention pond,
It flooded out last week with all the rain we got.
me too.
But the cars out back, they get filled up to the seats. It's that bad.
So, I mean, I'm assuming your engineering study is that you're gonna control runoff that you create by having hardscape versus farm ground that it is now, right?
Yeah, so they'll meet the city, county ordinance for release rates. And then you can see here, we're splitting up the site due to the fact of the high-pressure gas main. So the north half of the site's gonna drain to the, shown as a wet pond right now, but, and then the south half will drain to the, shown as a dry, kind of that area right there. Again, both of them will have the release rate, so, instead of the water now currently going to your property, it's gonna go filter through these and then to
There's a
the
tile there too.
PennDOT
'cause
right away.
There's a hole out front. It looks like a geyser. And one thing, when you do the approach, you might as well go big, because when Loves came in, they done it 3 times.
Yeah.
And the pressure line, they're on me over cars out back. So you're gonna have fun jumping through them hoops.
Yep.
So that's a lot my concern was.
And it sounds like they're gonna address their property. They can't fix everybody's property, but it sounds like they're,
Start my program, I want to put a nice fence up. That's all I
Anybody else that wishes to speak in favor or opposition?
Yeah, that'll take-
Seeing or hearing none, we'll close public hearing and hear the staff report.
Thank you. Stephen J., Judy K., and Michael S. Meyer, owners, Eric Carter, agent, location 0 North US 35, Richmond, Indiana, requesting 5 variants of development standards. Number 1 is seek relief from the non-residential lot planting standards. Number 2, increase maximum size standards for a pole sign. Number 3, to allow 2 pole signs on a single property. Number 4, increase the height and number of directional signs. And number 5, increase the non-residential driveway standards in the highway commercial district. Right now, the use is a vacant lot or a farm field. It's zoned highway commercial. Lot size is 17.574 acres. The zoning to the north is agricultural, to the south, highway commercial, to the east, high-intensity industrial, to the west, highway commercial. The land use to the north, agricultural vacant. South is commercial, Love's Truck Stop. To the east is commercial Pardo's Towing. To the west is agricultural vacant. We are seeking relief from these items. Foundation plantings. The height of a pole sign. Then one for 2 pole signs. Directional device signs to make them larger than what the UDO calls for and higher. And then a driveway, we're asking it to be 45 feet in width. I'm sorry, 45 feet is the overall width, and he's asking for 60 feet. The proposed variance would allow, number 1, 3 shrubs to be next to the building rather than facing the street. Number 2, increase the maximum size standards for a pole sign to 375 square feet. Number 3, to allow 2 pole signs on a single-tenant property. Number 4, allow an increase in height from 36 inches to 5 feet high and 6 square feet of signage, maximum 6 per lot. Number 5, allow an increase in the driveway from 45 feet to 60 feet. On June 1st, 2025, the public hearing was advertised in Palladium item. On May 29th, 2025, 7 adjacent property owners were notified about the variance by mail. And I guess we did not get any. The planning staff consulted with all city departments and utilities to determine any objections based on public health and safety, and no objections were raised. Staff recommends approving the petition to allow relief from the non-residential lot planting standards, the 2 pole signs, and the maximum size for a pole sign, the maximum height and square footage of directional device signs, and maximum width standards for the driveway in the highway commercial zoning district. Upon these findings of facts, the approval of the variance will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because all the requested variances are based on the standard 711 prototype, which satisfies city safety, health, and welfare standards in its design. The signage has been designed for visibility by trucks and is appropriately sized according to industry standards. The site plan includes access that ensures safe ingress and egress for both trucks and other vehicles and are necessary to navigate the traffic. Furthermore, pedestrian walkways are incorporated to enhance accessibility and ease of movement around the building. Number 2, the use and the value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because the requested variances align with the existing neighboring land use. For your reference, Love Travel Stop previously received a variance of development standards, BZA 22-2000, allowing a sign of height of 80 feet and a total signage area of 600 square feet. Additionally, Quick Trip on Chester Boulevard was granted a variance of development standards, BZA 38-2023, for a sign with a height of 100 feet and a total signage area of 473 square feet. strict application of the terms of the ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because, given that this development is intended to serve interstate traffic, the site's distance from the highway poses a challenge to its visibility. The requested sign variances, especially for the pole signs, align with existing signage of neighboring businesses, which would help the new establishment maintain a competitive presence. Additionally, the proposed directional signage and wider driveways are designed to enhance safety and provide better visibility for trucks entering and exiting the site. And we have one written commitment. If approved, all signs must meet required setback standards and landscaping requirements. This section of US 35 is part of NDOT's control route, and all signs must be placed on private property. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions of staff? We have none. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve BZA 11-2025, based on staff report and including the written commitment,
I'll second.
Findings of fact and the written commitment.
findings of facts, and the written commitments.
I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second to approve BZA 11-2025 based on the finding of facts and written commitments. Call the roll, please.
Jeff Cook,
Aye.
Nathan Sheets.
Aye.
Rob Tidrow.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good luck. You got to fight with Centerpoint and NDOT. I wish you well, my man. The filing deadline for today's meeting was May 14th. The filing deadline for next month is July the 9th. For next month's July 9th meeting was today. Do we have any for next
I
month?
have a quick question, Mr. President.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with BZA 9-2025?
I'm going to go visit him tomorrow on something else, but I'm going to ask
Okay.
him if he's done with it, if he wants to come back next month. And I think if he doesn't show up again, we should just withdraw.
Because we delayed it from last month.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So what's the formal plan there, Kim? Can we
So-
just,
In the past, when, because the first time we had to do it of our own accord, I think in the past practice, it's been that if there is a one-time courtesy where you sort of give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they had an emergency and then we redo it. But since Joanne's gonna go out and check with him, if he just verbally tells us that he's not interested in pursuing it, then I think it just sort of drops from the agenda. We don't bring it back as old business or new business.
we don't have to do anything with it? Good. Perfect. I am very good at nothing.
If the board wanted to make a motion to remove it from the agenda unless he wants to, resubmit it, then, or we can do nothing.
Let's see what Joanne finds out.
Let's see what Joanne finds.
Yeah. That's good.
With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See you next month.